Today we are going to get brutally honest. I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I wish I knew before moving to the Temecula Valley. Obviously, you see videos all over the place that talk about the amazing things about living in the Temecula Valley and Murrieta, Temecula, and all of our surrounding areas. But today we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty, share the deep, dark secrets that you should know before you ever consider moving here. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor. Every single week, you can rely on videos here that keep you up to date with what is going on in the Temecula Valley, the things you need to know before you move here, maybe things if you are living here that you didn't know about. We want to break it all down and share it with you. Let's jump into the 5 things that you should know before moving to the Temecula Valley. Number 1 on the list of things I wish I knew before I personally moved to the Temecula Valley, I wish I knew about all of the traffic. You've heard us talk about it when we do some comparison videos, but traffic here can be a nightmare. And we're talking Southern California, so if you're from Southern California and you live in LA, San Diego, Orange County, hey, the traffic is not bad here. But if you're not coming from those densely crowded areas and you're coming from another part of California or from out of the state, traffic is going to be an issue for you. We see heavy congestion on the 15 and 215 freeways. We are a commuter city, a commuter town, and so we see people that are living here that are commuting out to San Diego, LA, Orange County for work, and that absolutely packs our freeways. And so you can expect a longer than normal commute time to work. To give you some reference there, the average one-way commute time in the Temecula Valley is 32 minutes on average compared to the US average of 26. Now that's only a 6-minute difference, but again, that's a one-way average commute time, but we do see heavy traffic here in the area. We don't have a lot of different ways that the traffic can flow off. Again, we've got the 15 that runs north and south, the 215, and those are the only 2 routes in and out of here. So that means if you're coming in on one of those 2 freeways. If you're headed out on one of those 2 freeways, and there's just not a lot of alternative routes to get in and out, which means heavy traffic. So I mentioned the freeways, but in reality as well, even some of the side streets, some of the main side streets can get incredibly busy. It can take you sometimes 15 to 20 minutes to exit the freeway and get to the neighborhood that you're living in. So be prepared for a little bit more traffic than you're probably used to if you're moving here to the Temecula Valley. Number 2 is lots of homeowners associations. And maybe you're thinking that that is a pro, but here I'm just saying, I think you should be aware of it when it comes to moving to the Temecula Valley. There are lots of homeowners associations. It's estimated that over 50% of the housing units here in the Temecula Valley have a homeowners association. What does that mean? That means that you're going to have a little bit more of a monthly payment for where you live. And that can range from as low as $40 a month, and it can be as high as $300 to $400 a month. And so it's just something you have to be aware of. On the other hand, it also means rules and somebody in charge of what you can and cannot do to your property without prior approval. And so some people love that because it keeps the community nice and clean and beautiful. And some people hate that because they would rather not have somebody tell them what color they can paint their house, and they don't want a letter on their front door when their grass starts to die out in the summer because they forgot to turn their sprinklers up a little bit. So there's pros and cons to it, but I did want to make you aware that there are lots of homeowners associations here in the area. And so as you're out shopping for a home, when you're out looking, you definitely want to identify with whoever you're working with that I either want one or I don't. And if you do want one, what are you comfortable with price range wise? Because there is such a broad spectrum of what you can have here in the area. And again, with 50% of those homes having an HOA, chances are you're going to run across plenty of them. Number 3 is the weather. I wish somebody told me about the weather before I moved here. The reality is we are very close to the coast, and you would expect that we have mild temperatures here, being just as close as we are to the water. However, temperatures here in our area in summer can actually exceed 100 degrees for weeks at a time. That means that you are going to be in for some extreme heat in the summers. Be prepared for that. Now everyone says, hey, it's a dry heat. It is not a humid heat like somewhere in the south. I get it, but it's still stinking hot here at times during summer. So be prepared for that expect that those temperatures can get up there, and actually the highest recorded temperature in Temecula was 115 degrees. It can get hot. However, the good news here is because we are close to the ocean, we do get a nice breeze that comes through the area and cools things down really, really well at night. So if you're coming from the south and it's been 100 degrees all day long there, and it potentially only cools down to like 90 at night, you just have no relief from those temperatures. Here in the Temecula Valley, we do see that sway from maybe it was 110 degrees during the day, but it's still gonna cool down to 60 degrees at night, and it allows your house to cool down, it allows your body to cool down, and it just won't be as miserable the entire summer. You'll have those nice nights where you can still sit out, and you may even actually need a jacket at times. That's one of the things that I think people don't expect here in the area is if you're gonna be out somewhere at night, you should probably bring a jacket with you regardless of how warm it's been throughout the day, because chances are it's still gonna cool off. So be prepared for that. That does also mean that you could have some higher utility bills than what you're used to. So those extreme heat summers, you're gonna be running the AC a little bit more, and with some of our higher electricity rates here in the area, expect that utility bill could be a few extra $100 a month than you're prepared for coming from a different area. Number 4 is the house prices. Now I get it, I'm a real estate agent, I should know those before coming here, but I wish I knew a little bit more before choosing this area as my home. Let me tell you why. It's because the average home price here in the Temecula Valley is just shy of double the national average. That means you can definitely find a home for half the price if you look elsewhere in the country. Now I will say that the Temecula Valley is one of the most affordable areas in all of Southern California. So you can cross the county lines into San Diego, Orange, and LA counties, and you will see a significant jump in home prices. So we are still affordable here, but the fact of the matter is that if you're seeking affordability, it can be found elsewhere. You don't have to be here. And I'm sure you're probably aware, if you've been doing some research on Southern California, it's not the most affordable place to live. However, we choose to live here because of some of the awesome benefits of the mountains, the ocean, the views, the weather, all of those things that we get. So if you're willing to do that, Temecula Valley is a good option because it is cheaper than the surrounding areas, but again, almost double the median average of home price. So be aware of that when you're running some of those calculations. You can expect to find your average home, depending on when you're viewing this video, somewhere between $600,000 and $700,000. It could be beyond that. If you want specific details, make sure to reach out to us. I can get you the up-to-date information on where those values are today. Number 5, property taxes. I've actually got other videos here on the channel that talk about the specific breakdown of property taxes, but here for our purpose today, I want to share with you that you should at least know about it before you consider the Temecula Valley area. Property taxes are higher than most other areas across the country, and actually higher than most other places in Southern California. So home prices may be more affordable here. However, you will be taxed at a bit higher rate than the rest of the state. Now there are states that are out there that have 2 to 3% property tax rates, and that's because they have no state income tax and all of that, and they get you back in the property tax. California has a lower property tax rate. However, our immediate area does come with a bit of a higher tax rate. Our base tax rate is almost at 1.1%. And the thing you have to watch out for here is that on top of that are added special assessments and Mello-Roos. For an explanation on those, go find our other video here on the channel that explains property taxes. But those are added taxes that get dumped on top of that base assessment. So we can see property tax rates here in the area go from 1.1% all the way up to about 2.4%, depending on those property tax special assessments and Mello-Roos that get added on top. So it's very important when you're looking here in the area, that number can change from neighborhood to neighborhood. Just crossing the street can cost you several $100s a month in property taxes. So you need to work with a knowledgeable expert that can show you the low tax areas if you're budget conscious, or if you don't care and you understand that those taxes go to building up other areas, then go for it. But you want to make sure you've got somebody that can break that down for you, show you those specific areas, and help you run an accurate payment analysis. We see it all the time where people go in to buy a house in an area here in the Temecula Valley, and they're running their estimates based off of a 1.1% tax rate, but in reality, the tax rate is double. And when they sit down to sign their loan documents, their payment is way, way higher than they anticipated. So make sure that you, your real estate agent, and your lender know the actual tax rate for the neighborhood that you're looking to purchase in so they can get you accurate purchase numbers. So hopefully I didn't slam our area too much. I love the Temecula Valley. Obviously I've chosen to call this place home, but I want to be real with you about the things that you should expect. There are some significant costs to living here: temperature, traffic, all of those pieces. So make sure you consider those things. If you have specific questions, we would be happy to answer those for you. If you have other things, if you live here in the area and there's other things that you think people should know, leave a comment below. Let them know what they should expect when moving to the Temecula Valley, things that they should look out for before they get here. We'd love to share that with them. So I hope you enjoyed today's content. Hopefully it was helpful for you and maybe more brutally honest than any other real estate agent's YouTube page out there. If you enjoyed today's content, hit that like button, leave a comment below with any questions you might have about moving to the Temecula Valley or here in Southern California in general. And as always, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. We look forward to seeing you next time.